Yo, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to NiiceTalk podcast. It has been some time since I have posted, but I'm back onto it with one of my good friends, Anthony Lopez. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Going good, dude. So, Anthony and I, guys, just some context before we get into this conversation. We go back to maybe like 2000, I would say 8 or 9. What do you think? What was that?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Yeah,
Pretty accurate, yeah. So
even maybe 7.
Maybe I think
Maybe
it
7.
was.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, Anthony and I never even really got along until I fully matured. Until
I think when both of us.
Yeah, pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that too. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we were in the same dance crew, and we were able to, go to battles together. But I don't think we ever battled together. I think it was always kind of like this crew and this crew within our crew. Mm-hmm. But either way, we were like teammates of some sort for some time. And then
I think most people who know me don't know that I used to break dance.
Isn't that crazy?
Because it's not something that I bring up in just like casual conversation.
Yeah.
Because like, hey, I used to just break dance. That's not
they're
something
like, dude,
that
this big guy can dance.
Yeah. And
he looks like
now
a bodybuilder.
Now it's more like a party trick. I feel like a monkey. People, when they find out, they're just like, oh, you dance? Dance, monkey, dance.
He does a backflip, and then people are like, whoa. Does like a head flip? Whoa, what?
Yeah, back then I was probably 180 pounds. Now I sit at 220. So they're like, that guy that
but
big
you
is
still
not
do
supposed
like
to be
probably 80% of the same stuff.
close to it. You know,
Yeah.
I can still do flares.
Yeah.
And
I
windmills
can't do that
and
anymore.
lunge mills.
I don't know
I
what
could maybe
happened.
do, like, we used to have competitions and we would do 22. Now I could maybe do 3. And I'm completely out of breath. Like, I didn't realize how much stamina we
crazy.
had back then and how much your body adapts to that. Because when I spin on my head now, my neck is like sore for 3 days, and we would just do that all day long, right? So
wow, I know. I kind of realized that too because when I was dancing, I don't know. I just never realized the actual energy because I wasn't a strong person. I wasn't like a big macho man at all whatsoever. I was, if anything, the total opposite.
Right.
And now I look back and I'm like, I could stand on my hands for like over a minute.
Yeah.
I could dance for hours. When I go to practice after school from like 2:30, 2:45 until 8 p.m. Just dancing, take a break, dancing, take a break. That's all I did. That's all we did, really.
Right.
So that's pretty much our like passes just through dance. And then after that, it developed. I think when I moved back from California, we just kind of linked up over at the gym because I started getting into the gym, and you were already doing the gym thing. And then we were like, hey, let's go get an Airbnb or VRBO, wherever it was.
Los Angeles.
Over in Los Angeles randomly. And we've never hung out before. So it was just weird. Now we're just like kind of like bragging to myself, like either I'm the shit now or we're both losers, I'm just kidding. But
Both?
Right?
Yes,
No,
yes.
it's not even that at all, which will bring us to a later conversation about that. But anyways, it was just random. It was fun. And it kind of like, I think that's what kind of sparked up like the old, Chris, Nice Chris, and Anthony the Hammer. That was his dance name.
Stupid.
Those
I
people
didn't
were
choose that
gone.
name.
I know you didn't at all.
This is given to me.
I didn't even choose mine either.
Yeah.
Mine was just given, and then I had to stick with it, or else I'm
how it happens.
changing names like every other month. From mashed potatoes to white shit. I got called a lot of bad names.
Yeah. Low key racism. Yeah.
Yeah, low key white racism.
What
but
point?
that doesn't exist.
What point did you stop dancing? Transition out of that.
By the way, to clarify, when I say it doesn't exist, I meant white racism towards white people, not racism itself. Just had to clarify that. I support Black Lives Matter. Anyways, what point did I stop? I think is when I went to military school. Do you ever remember that?
Yes, I do remember that. Yeah.
I sent myself to military school randomly, and I just kind of like stopped. Mm-hmm. And I tried to dance there, but I developed different muscles because when I'm running, 5 to 6 miles uphill every day, and then I'm also doing multiple push-ups, I'm doing these different stretches. It's different muscles that I'm not used to using because dancing muscles are like hidden underneath in between.
Yeah.
The muscles
and
that
priority
you
was just low.
Yeah.
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 Different phase of life.
That I just stopped because I was there for 6 months, and then I was just like,
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just
You
like,
came
I
back
can't
and you
do
were
this.
doing push-ups all day long, and you're like, look how many push-ups I could do.
I know
like,
my like gym teacher. I used to remember. I don't know if you ever met him, but he was. I forgot his name. He was like one of the most jacked like PE teachers.
Yeah.
So it was like a G or something. I'll figure it out later probably. But anyways, he would have push-up contests, and I would laugh. I'm like, I'm not going to participate. I'll crush all these kids. These
That's
guys,
all I've been doing for the last 6 months, buddy.
Yeah, it's like, dude, do you understand how much trouble I got into?
Yeah.
And like the best part about that though was he actually used me. I've never been an example before. So he would use me as examples. So I was just like, all right. And I knocked out 150 easy. Well, not easy, but it was hard. But my record was 210.
That's still impressive.
That was my record. It was crazy. But
where are you at now?
I could, if I were to drop and give you, a certain amount right now, I wouldn't be surprised if I could hit over 50.
Oh, nice.
I think I can still
pretty impressive.
Do it, but it'll be like strategic, not going fast. Just because you do it faster, it makes you more tired. By the way, right. You have to. It's like a pace, like running. You don't just sprint a mile. You have to have a pace. So that was that. So that's when I stopped dancing. Really. Cool. Let me check and see, because I always need to make sure this is recording. Because I've had these times where I'm not recording, and I hate it because it sucks. Okay, it says recording right here. This is what I use, guys, when I record these now, because I don't want to edit or do anything crazy. So I'm going to keep this in here, too, because I don't want to have to worry about doing this again. All right. Okay, recording. Awesome. Sweet. Let's go back to the sweet stuff, which is, where's my thing at? This is the awesome beginning challenges that we always face. There we go. Awesome. But yeah, when did you stop dancing?
I stopped dancing probably when I started going to school. Because I worked at the YMCA, and this kind of branches off into the work category. But I worked at the YMCA, and then a presenter came from every community college. His name's Russell Colmore. He's a retired Marysville paramedic. And he came by and did a presentation for fire science. And I took interest in that, and then decided to take the intro to fire science course. Yeah. One thing led to another. I just kept taking the courses over and over again. And then before I knew it, I was pretty much invested in pursuing the career, not knowing how big of a bite I had just taken in pursuing, and how unlikely it is to get hired full time. I kind of just jumped into the deep end, and without even doing my research, invested and spent all this money. Taking these classes, and then it came down to the classes that I took were not really required. They were kind of just additional classes to learn more about the trade. And then it came down to the actual academy. So the academy is the bare minimum of what you need to be in the fire service. So it's a 3-month academy. Every day of the week, you have to be invested. You can't have another job. Are you sleeping there too? You're not sleeping there. There are some that you do sleep there. The one that I went to, you didn't sleep there. You just go like 5 days a week or something? 5 days a week. It's like a day job. Only you pay them. They don't pay you.
That sucks. So, I mean, in the long run, it's better, but anyways.
If everything works out. So, I mean, that cost $5,000. I didn't have $5,000 at the time. I talked to my uncle, lives in Los Angeles. He's more of an entrepreneur. He does a lot of media stuff. Yeah.
I think I remember you telling me that when we went to LA.
Yeah. He does he produced shows like I Didn't Know You Were Pregnant. Yeah. On TLC and a bunch of other Discovery stuff. Yeah. But
is he the one that hooked up with like the lift code or something like
that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He's, like I said, he's an entrepreneur. So he does a lot of things, and he kind of just guided me. He's been kind of like a father figure to me my whole life. He guided me in the right direction and said, "Hey, I go to these auctions for returned electric or just anything electric, like phones, anything that gets returned to Best Buy, they can't put it back on the shelves. Right. They have to auction it off." So he goes to these auctions where they have these big bins of stuff. You could look inside there. You can see what it is. You can't touch it. You can't power it on. You don't know what's in there. Yeah. And you bid.
Like you can't dig through it.
You can't dig through it. You just see surface, what's there, and you bid on that box of stuff like an auction. You could pay $20 up to $100 depending on what's in there. However, how much anybody's willing to pay. Right. And then once you win that bid, then you could go through the box of things, see if it powers on, see if it works. Yeah. And sell it, resell. Oh, okay. So that's how I made that money.
So you did that.
I did that. So he would send me this box of stuff. I would go through this box of things and I would test it. If it worked and was fully operational, I'd put it on as a resale. If it didn't, check the warranty. Oh. And if the warranty was there, I'd send it back. They'd send me a brand new one. I got like probably $1,000 off just Dre Beats, 10 Dre Beats headphones. Because it only cost me cents for broken. You pay $20 for a box. And so it cost me cents on on the dollar to get this thing, and then I'd send it back. They'd send me a brand new one in the package.
Really?
And I'd sell it for $150, and it would sell
because the warranty was still there.
Because the warranty was still there.
Because they probably just bought it, broke it, and returned it within 30 days, and there's probably a year warranty or something.
Yeah, but Dre Beats has a warranty. Yeah. So I would sell it for like $150, and it would sell instantly, like within minutes, because it was such a good deal, brand new in the box. So that's how I got that money to go to the academy. Paid full in the academy. And like I said, I had no idea what I was doing, like how much what I was doing here.
Yeah,
I was just paying the money. Went to the academy, and that was pretty grueling in itself. You know, it's paramilitary.
It's like a new world because you didn't understand that world.
I had no
you were high school.
I
student,
learned the definition
player, breakdancer,
discipline.
Yeah,
and the definition of resilience and what that meant to be. You know, work under pressure. People screaming in your face, and you're in full bunker gear. You know, you got the whole turnouts, coats, SCBA, everything on your back. It's hot. I took the summer academy. You know, I should have planned that out better to the fall, so it's cooler. But, and you know, everything like military school, that you went through, everything that you do, there's consequences to it. So you make a mistake, that's running a tower. The tower that we had was 4 stories. And you run as a school. So it's not you just making a mistake. When you make a mistake, everybody makes a mistake. So there's a lot of pressure.
I hated that.
On you to perform and not mess up, because you don't want everybody to run these towers. You know? But, you know, I made it through. It was, like I said, 3 months of digging in this book, a lot of mental challenges to surpass, and then physical as well.
Yeah.
But interesting enough, the valedictorian of our class was I think he was 40 years old.
Oh wow!
He's a retired Navy officer. Kevin Stone, I think was his name.
Probably has that mindset.
He does. He was you know, not as physically conditioned as most of the younger guys were, but mentally he was. Oh yeah, he was freaking on it, man.
Like he would probably limp to the finish line instead of complaining about.
My toe hurts. Well, that's the thing. You put him at the head of the pack.
Oh,
because when you leave somebody behind, that's another tower. You can't. It's crew integrity. When we go into a fire, we go in groups of 2. You can't go by yourself. You go 2 in, and you have 2 people out to rescue the 2 people in. So you put him at the head of the pack because he's the slowest, right?
Right.
Now you could only go as fast as the slowest guy.
That's smart.
Keep that crew integrity, and
that's crazy.
But he earned it, man. He was definitely he was smarter than all of us, and maybe not as physically conditioned, but he figured. He was a problem solver.
Oh, that's good.
So when it came to them presenting a thing to it, we looked to him as a leader to guide us in the right direction. So just
because he wasn't physically in first, he was mentally first. And Absolutely. And that's how he grouped everyone else to get together.
Yeah, a guy like me, that age, 20, 22, 20. I was probably 20 when that happened, 21. Oh, wow. I wasn't mentally there. I was strong. I was a workhorse. Yeah. You know, you need this ladder over on that side. I could do it.
I'm a donkey. Put it on me and I'm good.
You know, you need this hose and that hallway. I could do it. But, you know, as far as like thinking on my feet at that time, I had no skill set, you know, like I do now.
Exactly.
A little older, a little wiser.
Yeah. That's good though. But linking to that too, guys, is that's pretty much like the story of how he kind of got away, like the opportunity presented itself and he didn't know what he was getting into, then he got into it, and then now, you know, you're full-time firefighter.
Yeah. So what I said, like I said back then, I didn't know the bite that I had just bitten off. It was once I completed the academy, then you have your EMT school, emergency medical technician. So all firefighters, every fire department's different. Yeah. And depending on whether you're East or West Coast. Yeah. You're either an EMT or you're not. Some people are just firefighters. Here in the Northwest, I would say almost every professional firefighter is a firefighter and an EMT. Yeah. We don't fight a lot of fires. Yeah. It's how many fires do you actually think about? No, it's modern construction building codes. A lot of things are sprinkled now, where sprinklers put out fires way before we even get there. So
it's like these things, because if you hang a coat hanger on it, it'll flood this place out with like 2 inches of water,
right?
Wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, the whole entire.
That right there, the actual head of the sprinkler has a little bulb in there that has chemicals in it. That's designed. The chemicals expand at a certain temperature. The bulb breaks. The 2 pieces connect, and then allow water in here. So fire starts.
And it's not a little; it's a lot. It's a it pour like it looks like a sprinkler, but really that thing comes down.
It comes down.
I was warned by the people when we moved in here. They said, "Don't hang things." I'm like, no shit.
Yeah.
But
you
but
think, right?
obviously they have the precautions, but they mentioned like it can really like it can make this carpet
damage.
Like
but better than fire damage.
Better.
So and heat rises. So heat's gonna hit the ceiling, bank down. It's gonna heat up there the hottest before it's even hot at the floor. That's why they tell you to crawl.
Yeah.
And so heat's gonna hit the ceiling, heat those chemicals inside the bulb, break, and it's gonna put the fire out while it takes about, I think, average about 4 to 6 minutes to get to a call at my department. So it's
which you don't have to say your department name if
I'm gonna keep that confidential.
Yeah.
It takes 4 to 6
Northwest.
minutes.
We'll just keep it that. Northwest.
And that's fires out way before it, or it's controlled.
Yeah.
So it doesn't expand to additional rooms, so, but yeah. So anyways, went back through the EMT school, got my emergency medical technician, which is it's a BLS, basic life support, skill, where we're able to go out into the field and, basically triage people and say, this person is really sick. They need extra help. We can request a paramedic to come treat them, get them to the hospital. Paramedic is the highest level of pre-hospital medicine that you can get. They are the line between you and death until a doctor gets a hold of you. So, and then we're the ones before that.
Yeah.
So we have to get in there, identify whether somebody's sick or not sick. And
is that band's thing when they put like a certain color band on, or is that used in hospitals?
That is used. That's for mass casualty incidents.
Okay.
So shootings.
Yeah.
Even something less severe like bus crashes.
Yeah.
I'll go into there and I'll say, anybody that can get up and move now. Yeah. Those are all green patients. Anybody that's still there is either yellow or red or black. Well, we stopped calling them black patients. They're called striped. Just because modern times, like, can you imagine going into
short right now?
Can you imagine going into a building and be like, we got a black patient, leave them, because we leave the dead ones, but we call them black. So we realized our mistake. We started calling them striped patients now. Stripe means they're dead. So
unfortunately,
so we'll go
that's horrible,
and we'll go in there and do that. But so you get your basic fire academy, your EMT thing that makes you eligible, basically, or a candidate, somebody competitive enough to go and take the national testing network. So this is a test that you take. It's a personality, mechanical, reading, and writing assessment.
Yeah.
You can't study for it. There's no book. You go in, you take it. You could take it every 6 months. You get 4 scores, and hopefully those 4 scores are good enough, which you have to be in the 90s.
So it's at total random.
Low 90s,
just what you already know?
90s. It's just you don't know what's going to be when you go in there the first time.
Wow.
And you go in there and you take the test, and those scores you have to send out to departments. So that is the hub for testing. You select which departments you want to send, which you send it to everybody.
Right.
You shotgun it, and it's expensive. The test is like $200. Each department's like an additional $7. And you're broke right now, right? You don't have any money. So at the time, I didn't have any money.
Right.
But I just spent all my money throwing it out there, put all my eggs in one basket. And sent all the test scores out.
Yeah.
Got a couple part-time jobs at 2 different fire departments, getting just my basic skill set, making my mistakes, learning about the job so that when you get hired, you don't get fired, right? Doing those same mistakes. So sent them out, got 3 interviews, bombed the first 2. Bombed the first 2. You don't, the fire service interviews are very personal. Yeah. And the person, when you talk about who the least amount, it's probably yourself because you're so focused on everybody else.
Exactly.
Right? So I knew the least about myself going into those interviews, and took me 2 interviews bombing them before I realized that. Started doing a little self-reflection and looking at myself and who I was, what my morals and where I laid at, with everything. So when they ask you, what's the time you overcame adversity? Yeah. Having a story that separates me from everybody else. Yeah. That I overcame adversity here and that. So, because when you ask somebody that, they're like, I just conducted interviews for 100 people that we went through our department. And we asked them that, and a lot of them are like deer in the headlights. Yeah. They don't know. Exactly. And that's what separated the people who ended up getting hired from the people that didn't. Was their ability to know themselves a little bit deeper.
So if you want to be a firefighter or any interview, reflect on who you are. Yeah. Don't tell people what you think that they want to hear. Yep. but tell a true story of what you truly are,
because that's what's going to separate you from the next person. Is that unique story that you have that they don't. Because when we asked, what's one thing that's going to make you a great firefighter, I would say 80% of people, it almost like they went all through the same interview class. 80% of people said, I have compassion. I'm compassionate. That's what separates me. But they didn't know that the 80 other people that went through the interview all said the same thing.
Because you would think, like, when you're applying for a position that has something to do with, saving lives, you're not going to not have compassion. Right. So you kind of can't give an answer that's saying
obvious. That's
it's too vanilla.
Bare minimum.
Yeah.
Have compassion.
Put some chocolate chip mint in there.
We asked the question, what's something you're most proud of? And they said, pursuing to be a firefighter. And we're like, listen, you die tomorrow. The thing you're most proud of is trying to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
Commendable, but give us something more.
Right.
And that was another 80% of people said that same thing. We're like, we need more. That's not separating you from anybody.
It's like, separate the firefighter job, right? Yeah. Let's think about this right now.
Like, we're working with you 24-hour shifts. Yeah. We're living with you. We want to know who you are, not what you think we want to hear, because that's not what we want to hear.
What if they tell you that they're highly into comic books? What would you like? And they knew every single comic character. Would that be?
It's interesting. I don't know how it pertains to the job.
For sure. I'm just saying. Saying. Like, when you ask, if you ask something like, "Hey, let me know something interesting about yourself," instead of saying something like, "Oh, I'm very compassionate about being a firefighter," you like, "Oh, well, actually, I know all the." There's actually a guy, I think Bam Margera, knows all the country capitals or country something, or all the main. I think it's capitals. Yeah. I think it's capitals of like each country. Is that a thing?
I would say that's
so. Like, how Washington D.C. is ours
skill that people have. Like, remember Goggin from high school?
Yeah,
he knew that stuff.
Yeah,
he was just like, you
name a state,
he knew the capital. Boom, just like that. Off the top of his head.
Yeah,
it was pretty impressive. But
anyway, so like a skill set of some sort.
So you really a skill to it, in some sense to it. But So bombed 2 interviews. Did some self-reflection, came back to the third. I also, I don't want to forget to mention that I had a mentor at the time that I worked with over at one of the departments that I worked at part-time, who came to me and he's like, listen, you have a story. You are unique to this, to the population that is applying to these jobs. You need to learn how to tell that story. And this is how I'm going to help you do it. Let's put this in order. Let's have it accessible so that it's not a canned answer, but that you can call on it when a question arises that is pertinent to the answer. Right. So, what's the time you overcame adversity? Well, I moved out of my parents' house when I was 15 years old. I bounced around from friend's house to friend's house and was the first person in the family to graduate high school. First person to have a career. First person to have a pension. First person to buy a house.
Wow. Really? So, first person I think I knew, but I don't think I knew it to that extent.
Oh, it goes deep. I mean, there's nobody. I'm not floating, or I'm not tooting on horn, but there hasn't really been anybody. I mean, I'm winning the race.
I guess it's the same for me too, though. So
absolutely.
It's not even like trying to sugarcoat yourself. It's like
I'm winning the race that everybody else tripped in.
Yeah.
So to an extent. So, So these are adversities that I had to overcome that I can call back on and say, this is what makes me unique. Listen, most people don't have this situation. I put myself here regardless of the circumstances.
Right.
The world was against me, and I made lemonade out of lemons. Right. Yeah. So
sorry.
Calling on those experiences during that, and he helped me at the time create that.
You're still in connection with this guy?
I'm not. I don't talk to him much anymore. He's got a whole family. He got promoted to captain. Not surprised.
Is he's a firefighter too?
He's a firefighter. He was a paramedic. That guy.
You should reach out, man. Just be like, hey, by the way, I just want to say,
I should.
I'm here today.
I really would. There's a handful of people that I need to just. I've always wanted to just like send money to, and honestly, or just be like, hey, you help me. My ex-girlfriend's dad co-signed on a car loan.
Oh wow, that was big.
Yeah, which is because I didn't have
especially if you don't have credit.
I didn't have credit. They wouldn't approve me. Nobody would approve me. I got as low as asking friends on Facebook to co-sign car loans for me because there was absolutely nobody, and that was to me rock bottom. Oh yeah, having to go to that extent to open myself up and put that out.
It's a very vulnerable position.
None of them responded back. I'm not surprised to this day because it would have to be a close friend.
Asking you, hey, Anthony.
Yeah, right. I'm just like, now I look back.
Would have had, but my girlfriend at the time, she said no.
Yeah, he facilitated so much success for me. to this day. He's a staple. You know, I'll never forget that guy for as long as I live.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, got that interview and then got hired. And when you get hired, you're on a year of probation. Probation meaning they can fire you without cause.
Yeah.
For you got a bad attitude, they don't like who you are as a person. You're not meeting the expectations that
you take someone's lunch.
I'm
just saying, if you're the guy that
I eat a lot, they fuss a lot about me eating so much. They really do. But I'm just like, make more food then, if it's a deal, you know. Stop saving money. Just make more food.
200 and something pounds.
I eat a lot of food. Yeah, they make it a point now to get in line before me for the food so that I don't take too much. But yeah, got hired. So get through probation, and then you ease out of probation into working with the crew. It's a brotherhood, but it's very seniority based too as well. Like there's a hierarchy to things there. You got to play what they call the game.
Yeah.
And do your part, and they can't fire you for no reason now, but if they wanted to put a target on your back and find a reason to do it, they can, because you're not perfect. You're going to make mistakes, and
for sure,
when those mistakes happen, it's better to have them easily forgiven than, hey, this guy's a shithead. Yeah, we don't like him.
Exactly.
Let's start paperwork. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
but now, how long has it been since you've been a firefighter?
So I did 2 years as a part-time guy, and I just started my 6th year as a full-time guy. So since I was about 22 is when I got hired.
At the one place that you're at. Mm-hmm. So 2 years prior to that?
Yep.
So you've been total 8 years.
Yeah.
Plus schools, maybe like 9.
Yeah. Well, I was going to school while I was doing the part-time thing too. Because I already had my pre-quals, my qualifications.
So 6 years full-time.
Mm-hmm. Starting my 6th year full-time. So 5 full-times.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So got hired. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's been a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I think there's only like 10% of people who actually apply for a full-time get hired.
Crazy.
And I found that out after. I was just like, holy smokes, I just won the lottery. Like, I'm so lucky, and I still feel lucky to this day to be able to go out and help people and do what we do. So like I said, we don't really fight fires. Most of what we do is medical. Yeah. Strokes, a lot of common things are strokes, low blood sugars for diabetics, broken bones, trauma accidents, car crashes is a really popular thing in my area. Yeah, that I work. So we do extrication, jaws of life, that kind of stuff. We cut up cars almost.
That's like that giant saw thing.
Yeah, it's more of like a crushing and then a spreading tool. But we do a lot of extrication in that aspect. So we get cars. We buy cars from places like Pick and Pull and stuff like that.
I think I've seen that when I saw you.
Yeah,
I saw like a car lot. Yep. It looked like crashed cars.
Yep.
And I was like, these are freaking horrible. Mm-hmm. Like these
we cut
like
them
they've
up
been through
and we train. Like we have a forklift, we'll flip it and then put it in a unique situation where there's somebody underneath the car and be like, hey.
Oh, so those are all test cars that you guys use?
These are all test cars, yeah. And they'll say, hey, fix the problem.
Were they someone's car that they crashed prior, or do you guys just buy junk cars?
It's junk cars. Well, junk cars are usually people that get crashed, they're totaled, and the insurance company pays out, and then they just send it to the junkyard. Oh, okay. They sell it for whatever they can get it. So, and we train on those.
Damn,
so it's a lot of
training too. Yeah. That's not like here's a box. I'm underneath the couch. Yeah, it's more like real shit. Like, hey, there's a sharp piece of metal here. Be careful where you're going.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Or this person is unconscious, unresponsive in a vehicle that's on fire. How are you going to deal with it?
Do you guys actually set the cars on fire too?
We don't.
Oh, okay.
We can't. There's like
environmental
laws and stuff like that.
You got to make sure that has no oil or gas in it.
Well, there is sometimes. I mean, I've been on car fires where there is gas and water reacts with that stuff. So what we carry actually in our engines is foam. It's like soap water.
Yeah.
Same thing so it just it extinguishes the fire by suppressing the oxygen on it. So
and then to clarify this too, because I know we jumped to this part. This is why he stopped dancing, because he found a better, probably a more fitting description of a job, I guess I could say, a realistic income.
Yeah, what is something
not any offense to dancers who do make an income. But he knew that wasn't his future.
That's not my avenue.
It's a hobby and it's fun.
I wasn't going to make money off of that.
It wasn't going to be.
I didn't see myself in that as a future.
You weren't going to be a Jabberwockies performing in Las Vegas or doing music videos all the time.
I mean, I was Anthony Hammer, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
Thesis.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, even you almost be better than Thesis. Yeah. To really make it, and you got to know how to market yourself. There's World of Dance now and stuff, which is an amazing show too. So if you guys haven't checked that out, they have a new season out. But
I just knew that I didn't want to sit behind a desk and push pencils. I knew that I didn't want to be in a cubicle. I wanted to be in a job where I didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I wanted something exciting. I wanted something that I can apply myself and be in an environment where I'm constantly learning, because that's how my brain works. I need to challenge myself constantly. Right. You know, it's, if I don't, I get like mush brain. I just sit there and I'm like, bleh. But with that world, we do so much. It's so dynamic and it's constantly changing. With, you know, vehicles, we have gas vehicles, but now we got electric vehicles. So now we got to learn everything about electric vehicles so we don't cut into the wrong part and electrocute ourselves, or blow the airbags wrong, you know, so, or cut this cable and that's the
How cool to be if Tesla did like a course of that.
They do.
They do?
Yeah, I've cut in. Well, you know what? Teslas are amazing. When it comes to crashing, like those are the most well put together cars.
The body doesn't bend.
No. We talk about intrusion. So intrusion is like when a car gets hit from the outside and goes, how much is how that car coming into the inside hitting the occupant?
Yeah.
I had a Tesla ram into the back of a vehicle that one of the state troopers had said he was at least probably going 80 miles an hour.
Oh, wow.
Spin off,
Tesla was going 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crash in the back of the vehicle, which the back of that vehicle is totaled.
Yeah.
Like, just if anybody was in the back of that back seat, they would have been severely injured.
Yeah.
Went into a tree.
Oh,
crashed into a tree.
So hit the vehicle in the tree.
Into a tree. Crashed through the fence, went into a tree. This was a tree that had been there for hundreds of years. It was thick. It had a dent into the side of the tree, but the tree was like totally fine.
Yeah.
No intrusion into the vehicle. The guy was drunk. He was in there. Airbags deployed. The worst thing he had was a messed up face from hitting the steering wheel. Damn. But there was zero intrusion. It was incredible. I was just like sitting there like half impressed with the vehicle.
What in the hell
like,
did Tesla just do?
How did this survive this crash? Looking at the other vehicle, the whole back of it was smashed, and there wasn't a single inch of intrusion into this Tesla. So
it's a good family car then.
If you can afford the
$100,000 for a car, do it. Yeah, I would. I mean, that's honestly like my first biggest purchase when it comes to a vehicle. I definitely want a Tesla.
Well, I used to have one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
it was like a black one.
It was.
You have the Model 3, or did you have the
I had the S? I had the S.
Oh yeah.
It was. It's harder to own than. I always tell people
I would assume
it's cooler to have than it is to own. If that makes sense. So it was just like I was driving so much. There was times where I would like almost ran out of battery. It was just like it's better to have if you're going any kind of distance. To have a combustion.
Do they have like a solar panel thing? So if you run out of gas or electricity, that it charges and you can still go like 20 miles an hour somewhere?
Nope.
When do you think they would do that?
That would be cool.
That'd be a lot of power though. It'd be kind of hard to do that.
Yeah, there's times where I left. It eats battery just sitting there because it has to keep all electronics cool and a certain temperature. So, I mean, there's times where I was like, and when it breaks, you have to get it towed to Tesla to get it recharged, trickle charged. You can't just take it home and plug it in. So.
Oh really?
It's a pain.
So it's definitely an expensive thing.
Yeah.
So it's good to go out and get ice cream with, and maybe do something
in town traveling. Maybe go to the next town over. But whatever you have going in, you have to have coming back. So if you go 100 miles in,
your trips probably too.
You do. If you go 100 miles one way, you have to have the 100 miles coming back in your charge. So it's not like you have 200 miles. You could go 200 miles. You can't.
Yeah, it could go down for a lot faster than that.
Well, you travel. So let's say you have a 250 miles is the range on them. They don't like when you charge to 100%. It's bad for the battery. They say charge to 80. If you do it like 3 times, it warns on the screen like, hey, don't do this. It's bad. So really you got like 225 if you have a full capacity battery that isn't worn down at all. And you travel 100 miles, now you got 125 miles.
Oh my gosh.
You have to have 100 miles coming back because you just went 100 miles.
Yeah.
Right? So 100 miles back. Now you got 25 miles when you get home.
Damn.
And now let's say, somebody just invited you to barbecue at the beach, and that's 30 miles away. I got 25 miles. It takes on my charger that I had, not a fast charger. It was 23 miles per hour. So if I waited an hour, I'd get 23 miles distance.
What?
Yeah, and that was a 220 volt.
Oh, because there's certain versions of Tesla you could buy, and some of them are like faster charging.
They have fast charging, but you got to find one.
Yeah,
the superchargers.
So if you go to like
300 miles
mall or something, you're not going to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Fast chargers are great if you can find one.
Yeah,
but those are high volt, and you can't. It's still bad for the
battery. I have a friend who put the panels on his house, and he has the charger at home, so he charges it overnight.
Oh yeah,
then he probably maybe takes it out after a certain time.
My energy bill skyrocketed too.
Yeah,
it was almost negligent to the point. Like I'm
back when you were at your house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
still has the house, not when he still has.
I have a few. That's another branch of discussion. Properties and hobbies and stuff like that. But I'm back in the Mercedes, the AMG, which is.
I feel like you've had like 4 cars in like 4 years.
I go through cars pretty quick.
And you had a motorcycle.
It's not. I had 2 motorcycles.
You had 2. I remember that.
No, I had 2.
Yeah, it was a 2. I remember the one that you had when I think you got it after. I remember it was after our LA trip. I think you got.
Yeah, I got rid of it though.
Yeah,
one of my buddies got in a really bad accident.
And you were just like,
and I was like, not worth it.
Yeah,
he was like in a body cast.
Oh,
yeah, he was messed up. I worked with him, but he recovered faster than I've ever seen anybody recover. It was like 6 months.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. So a Porsche pulled out in front of him and he smashed into the side of it.
Ooh, see, that's my fear. Like if I get a bike, like I'll maybe go to the gym with it, and that's it.
It's not. I was confident in my own riding, and I had been in a crash before.
It's the other people around.
It's the other people around you. You just even in your car, you see some people how they drive, and you're just I see on the job how people drive. It's not there's not very impressive drivers on the road. You know, and there's even the drivers that are good drivers, but you know, you have that 9-year-old lady who probably shouldn't be on the road that is not paying attention or not checking her blind spot.
Or you have that kid who think revving his engine and driving 60 miles in a 30 is fun, you know, when really there's a kid who might play in that neighborhood and then they go out and get their ball and all of a sudden their head peeks outside the car and boom, you hit it.
That's extravagant.
I mean, it's very dark, but it's sad. Like that, it's not like it doesn't, that happens.
Yeah, I got rid of it. It was not.
It's horrible.
It was not worth having.
Gotta be safe.
Now I'm just down to 1 car. I do go cars pretty quick. It's a bad habit of mine. I'm trying to stick with this one.
Do you buy them or do you lease them?
I buy them.
Oh, you buy them, then you sell it.
Then I resell it, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I know. I was looking at BMW i8s the other day.
I was like, if you're into that, just lease them.
Yeah, right? I should.
Because that way you don't lose the value. You drive your 20,000 miles, you know? I mean, I don't know how much you drive.
I don't even think I drive that because we work 24-hour shifts. So 1 on, 1 off, 1 on, 5 off. So I go to work twice a week for 24 hours at a time.
Yeah.
So I go there 8 in the morning and I leave at 8 in the morning the next day.
So you still take the 40 hours plus a week, but it's technically all batched together.
All batched together, yeah.
That'd be nice. I would love to do that. So that way I have more. Well, I do have plenty of time now, you know, with like the job that I have with Benji and stuff. So I have a lot of time. But the only thing is now what we're having trouble with is like, where do I put those hours now? Because I'm not doing the stuff that we were doing because we're not traveling anymore. We're not doing too many videos anymore. We're just doing live stream stuff. And how long does it take 30 hours a week to do live stream stuff? No, it takes me like 5.
Yeah.
And then 5 to facilitate it.
I think that's one of the things that brought us together is because we have so much time on our hands. But you can only have so many hobbies. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have kids. Yeah. It's just me by myself. I'm like, okay, so I started making music.
Yeah. Okay. You did that like 4 years ago?
Yeah.
4 years ago, you just
and I'm just now starting to make something that's like, okay. I'm starting to work with artists, you know, some art, just people I message on Facebook like, hey, you taking beats right now? And they're like, I'm working with a guy right now, actually. So hopefully we have something coming out here in the near future. Cool. It's just a hobby. Yeah. You know, something that keeps me artistic. Kind of took the place of dancing. Yeah. I'm not a very good at drawing. You know, so it kind of just took the place of dancing, kept me something to express myself, you know, because I've always enjoyed music. Yeah. I've always wanted to try to make music, never really sat down to learn the program, which is it's a huge learning curve.
Use Logic?
I use Logic, yeah.
Logic.
Just the DAW, so.
Yeah, cool. So that's what I like about Final Cut Pro is it comes with Logic.
Oh, nice.
So, not fully, it's not the full actual software, but a lot of the stuff, if I have to like compress my audio, like for this podcast, right? Yeah. If I need to fix the audio, if it's a little bit too echo in here, I could compress. If I'm too loud, it'll kind of compress. Because you know what compressor is and shit like that. Then I could also change like the gain levels, loudness, and everything else.
There's so much to it.
And there's like 12 to 24 things that I can move around.
There's so much to it.
I'm not that into it, but I understand how to use it now.
Right. So that's the biggest part is like, anybody can make a beat, you know, but making the beat sound like presentable. Like what you hear that goes on in a stereo, there's so much processes to that. Like just putting a hi-hat to a kick to a lead or something like that. Yeah. And then just making that like leveling it out so everything sounds right. And then sending that to an engineer who's like, that's what they went to school for. They engineer music. They make music sound, not like music, but make it sound good. Like the actual sound of it, the frequency, make it sound good. And that's a whole nother thing to do. But
it's crazy.
Yeah, between that, just hobbies, like with all the extra time we have, whether that's making music, I go to the gym every day, which I've always done, right? And then my property. Yeah. Buying property. I like real estate. I have a lot of the guys I work with are into real estate. Some of them have 7, 8 houses.
Oh, wow.
That they manage. So
that's crazy.
I got one. I'm working on my second right now. Yeah. Hopefully I can find something. It's a great time to buy right now. It is. With interest rates being so low. So I'm working on my second property. That doesn't take up too much time. It kind of just manages itself. Yeah. It's nice. Somebody else pays your debt.
exactly.
You know, and hopefully that property value increases and you can sell it later down the road. And kind of the goal is to either have them until I retire or sell them all, take that big and put it on one house that I'm going to stay in forever. So
yeah, just get your forever house. Mm-hmm. Have you seen Drake's house, his new one?
I have seen it. Yeah.
Wow.
He has a bunch of stairs. I'm hoping he has like an elevator because there was like
three
flights of stairs.
There's like a couple, and then I was watching parts of it because I don't think he's actually done like a full housing because of you want to make sure you keep off, like you don't want people to know
it's not cribs anymore.
Dimensions of your house. Mm-hmm. You know, you want to make sure no one knows where they can exit, they break in. But it was cool because he had that like huge bathtub that he got dropped in there. They take like a crane. Yeah, it's like a 4,000 pound marble tub. Yeah. Like whoa. Like mine's like fiberglass.
I know. You know. I want to say he spent like $100 million. I don't know though. He has a full court basketball court. He has all that stuff there.
I think he could have, but I also think it's worth that because of the amount he put together. Yeah. So it's almost like, when I get a computer and I build it, it's gonna cost me like $2,200. Right. I could probably sell it for like $24. Just get a little bit extra. He probably spent like close to like 80, 90 maybe. But because of like it's already done, so if someone moves in, I don't know how the thing works at all, but that's just crazy, man.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
He's came a far way too, but everyone can, man. It just depends on how dedicated you are and how smart you get.
Yeah, I was watching a documentary today while I was doing my cardio about Mike Tyson, who just started his own podcast too.
Yeah, hotboxing.
He has his own. His own ranch where people stay, and he sells weed there and stuff like
Ranch.
that.
Tyson Ranch. I want to go there so bad.
It's pretty crazy. But he was, talking about starting from the bottom in stories that you can relate to. I know you can relate to that because we have similar family stories to a degree or just life experiences. But humble beginnings, and being able to get out of that position and make something better for yourself because you almost learn from the negativity of it.
Right. Yeah.
Most people don't know this, but my dad died when he was like 21.
Yeah.
He was...
how old was he when he had you?
Well, my mom was 17 when she had me.
Your dad, though, when he had you? Or when he...
Well, I was 2 months old when he died.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
He was heavily involved in like gangs.
Yeah.
And gang activity and was doing a drive-by actually. Oh. And as they were driving away, they got T-boned by another car and he got in a car wreck. He hit his head on that post that the seatbelt sits on.
Oh, yeah,
it's called the A-post, what we call it in the fire world. And... head trauma and died.
Oh, jeez.
Right there and then, so.
Dang. That's crazy.
And then, but yeah, pretty crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, this is probably the last thing I'll probably say about it because it could be a touchy topic, yeah. But it's crazy that also, like, it's kind of like your job is amazing because now you could help people in those situations who get into car accidents. Yeah. Now you know how to... Yeah. I mean, his probably was so severe that it can't be helped.
Maybe that wasn't, yeah.
But the fact that you could also help people in situations similar, you know, probably feels good maybe.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. How is that?
Well, like I was saying, you learn from that negativity. Yeah. My mom didn't have a job growing up. She's always kind of just lived on welfare and ends meet and stuff like that.
Section 8 housing.
Yeah, exactly. So I saw that for myself and I said, I'm not going to do this. I shared a room. We had a 2-bedroom apartment with 6 people. I shared a room with 3 sisters.
Oh, wow.
Which pretty much meant that I had a corner of the room.
These are your blood sisters?
One of them is blood, half, and then a step.
Have you ever met them?
Probably not. No.
Probably not?
Probably not, no.
Not close?
One of them is kind of gone off the deep end. The other step one I don't talk to because my mom and stepdad divorced a long time ago. And then my half sister I talked to. I just talked to her. Right. She isn't my niece, and so she's pretty
By the way, if you don't want anything in this, I could also cut it out too.
I don't care. No, their names aren't out there. They don't even.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just meant like some topics. Some people don't want to hey, I don't want to talk about that. Bring it up. Fine. I could always cut it out.
If I didn't want to bring it up, yeah. No, I'm an open book for the most part. Most people.
Yeah. I just want to make sure.
I don't ever talk about these things just because it's not really pertinent. I don't like unless I'm close to people or anything like that, but. You take that, like I was saying, you take that negativity and you say, I don't want this for myself. Yeah. This is not the life that I'm going to live for the rest of my life. I want something better for my children or my spouse.
Because you
I don't want to have to worry about what we're going to eat the next day. We ate a lot of times pancakes because
that's awesome.
I know, right? I used to have eating competitions where they'd make these little pancakes. I'd eat 40 of them as a kid.
Yeah, it's a competition. I'm just hella hungry though.
Yeah. So we'd eat pancake, but in all reality, pancake mix was cheap. And you can make enough food for
$1.50,
$2.50. Yeah,
it's a whole big old bag. I actually buy the Kodak protein pancakes. So now when I eat pancakes, I'm not only like happily feeling, even though they taste different, they don't taste that sweet, but they're good. But they're good. It's like 14 grams per like 6 inches.
We'll mix it with egg whites. You got more protein in there now.
Oh yeah. Can you drink egg whites, by the way? Because it's not technically like the yolk, so you don't have to cook it.
Yeah, I put it in my.
Because now when I do my next competition, I'm just gonna drink the egg whites. I'm not gonna cook that. When you cook it, it tastes like freaking ass.
You can. I don't know. I don't think you can, because I've been eating egg whites for
certain ones
ever. The pre-mixed ones.
Yeah.
I don't do like the. I don't take the yolk out. I just buy the carton of
that's what I'm talking about. Just drink already. That.
I put those in my shakes sometimes. I put them in my Kodiak cakes.
Oh, you do?
With water. You got to do it with water, or it comes out super thick and nasty. But anyways.
Yeah, I don't make my pancakes any other way. I don't know people who make them with water, fucking milk.
We got to do water and egg whites, and then that's
pretty
good. Yeah.
Okay.
Way, but
that's interesting though. Yeah, I need to do that. I need to try that. Yeah, because when you cook egg whites, they just turn out weird. Like they just you put all the salt and stuff, but it just gets worse.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's, okay, I'm probably over-exaggerating. It's like putting salt on shit.
That's over-exaggerating.
It's just going to taste like salty shit. So egg whites are still going to taste like egg whites, just salty egg whites. So instead of like a hamburger, when you put like all the seasoning on, it's going to taste good, or a steak or chicken. But when you put on egg whites, it's just like a shittier version plus salt.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Cakes, and you just kind of don't envision that for yourself. So use that as a motivation instead of a positive influence and negative influence that you're taking, reversing that and saying, I'm going to do better.
That's crazy, because like, I mean, from similar boats, like myself, I'm trying to make sure this is all about you, not me. But at this point, I'll like relate is like, I never realized how poor my nutrition was, because it was so normal for me to eat top ramen with shredded chicken or tuna.
Still delicious.
It was still good. I still eat that, by the way. I'm so like hamburger helper. That's my shit. Yeah. I still do it. Now I kind of upgraded to Vermont curry, and that works. I get it from the H Mart, and it's just, I get a hamburger, and I mix it together. Benji taught me that one. Nice. But the mix is like $2.50 or $3, and then you buy potatoes, and that's cheap. And then you buy hamburger meat. It's like what, $5 maybe, depending where you get it. And then cheap, you only need like a pound.
You get multiple meals out of it.
Carrots, and then you get rice. That's a cheap thing, and it's good for you. But anyways, with my dad and I, he'd always did his best. He never wanted me to go hungry. If anything, I ate. So my dad was always really good at that. But I never realized how, what's it called? Just how unnormal it is to eat like that all the time.
Isn't that crazy?
And
just like you're in your own little world.
Chicken, like he made fettuccine Alfredo. He made steak some night, But a lot of the food that we got was not expired, but it was over the sell-by date. A lot of the food bank assistants, family would send stuff. I just never. It was just so normal for me. So like, when I had friends come over, they would see some like stickers like not for reason. It's just weird. Yeah. But they didn't care. I mean, we all kind of grew up in. Like,
isn't that awesome? The innocence as a child. Like, you don't know any better. You only know what you're exposed to.
Exactly.
And you're still happy to eat this bowl of crap. You know? Exactly. But you're just like, hey, I'm full.
I just eat a Pop-Tart in the morning, and I'm like, why am I hungry at lunch? It's like, because you're like, now it's like, I'm not gonna eat a Pop-Tart and go and work out right now. I'm gonna eat a Pop-Tart, some oatmeal, some eggs, and some potato. I don't know, just something to really fill up. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's not, a lot of people, when they don't go through the struggles that a lot of people do go through, you kind of need to. I'm not saying people need to suffer, but people need to.
I wish I knew what it was.
Visit someplace that is going through hardship. Yeah. Families, and don't look at them and try and not really sympathize. I don't know the word is, but you don't want to like make them feel like you should feel sorry for them, but you should understand it and embrace it and
that
be
you're
thankful
lucky
for it. When I'm able to travel from different countries, I've been to Philippines, Africa.
Right.
I'm trying to think of like other
third world countries
that I've been to. But I will go, and I'm not talking about like Manila or Cape Cod or whatever, like in South Africa. I'm talking about like Tanzania, Africa, right? We went to a certain part. Now, Tanzania is really nice, by the way. Yeah. But the part that we went to, kids would walk 5 miles through an elephant field. There's like gazelles, I think they're called, those striped kind of things with horns. Yeah. I think even some like predatorial animal. I don't know what there was. I know there's giraffes.
Well, there's got to be.
Right? But there's stampedes of these animals. And these kids who are like anywhere from 4 to like maybe 3 to 6 years old are walking with their brothers and sisters 5 miles just to go to this shack school thing with no power. And they get a truck that drives in with water and food. And that's their school.
Wow.
And I'm like.
Perspective.
What the fuck?
And they're probably happy.
I'm complaining about McDonald's right now. That's all I have, or
that you have to wear a mask.
Ramen. I have or a mask. Like fucking get out of here. But
I can't breathe.
Yeah, okay. These people. But when you go to places like that, you realize like. Yeah, you probably are eating top ramen with some tuna, or you're eating...
Still got the good life.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but you don't got to walk 6 miles to get a drink of water.
Yeah, that's where I struggle when I'm thinking about this stuff. I'm like, okay, you and I, we learned things through experience.
Yeah.
We went through it. That's how we learned. We just knew. But how do I impart that? Because my kids aren't going to go through that. You know, how do I impart that knowledge through words or maybe actions, taking them to a third world country? Is one visit going to open their eyes enough to see that? How do I impart the knowledge that I've gained by living through it to them when they're not going to live through it? But I still want them to appreciate the life that they are given, essentially, but realize how lucky they are to still live, not have to walk 5 miles to school, not have to to go to the river to take a bath. You know, they got clean clothes on their back every single day.
They got a washer and dryer. They have,
Exactly.
So I think the biggest example, and I'm not saying this because he's a really good friend of mine, but I'm saying this because it's like literally the best example, is Benji and his kids.
What a guy.
His kids because they've been to third world countries, right? But when you verbally, it's all in the parenting, right? A kid, let's just say, for instance, the whole like race issue right now, right? With like people who are racist. That's taught. That is picked up from their elders or their parents, their uncles, whoever.
Their environment,
just in their environment. But what Benji and Judy were able to do with their kids was let them know, are you grateful for this? You need to be grateful. You need to be thankful because of this. And then they'll show. And not in like a way to like feel bad for you. If you don't do this, you're going to be like them.
Yeah.
Because that's bad. He'll never do that. But it's more like, listen, you have, this. You need to be grateful. So he teaches them at a very young age to be grateful for things. So that way.
Don't look down on these people.
Exactly. Because when they go, they play with the kids.
Yeah.
When we go to the Philippines, the girls, they'll play with these kids because he teaches them.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are pretty much probably family, right? Like, and that's how things should be. So that's just how you do it. I mean, you don't have to go to the third world country, but you just teach them probably like, hey, like they're human, and I don't know, like it's pretty like self-explanatory.
Yeah,
I don't know how I should explain it, but yeah, it's crazy.
You're both people.
You just got to make it verbal, like that. You just got to be thankful for things, and not like you can't. You could have it worse, but you have no room to complain because other people have it worse.
Right. Which I don't know if I necessarily agree, because everybody you're only exposed to your own perspective.
Exactly.
You only
and your
things
own
might
environment.
seem bad. It doesn't mean. I mean, it's a good idea to have that perspective and say, I can't complain. It's hard to complain, maybe, because there's other people who have it worse. But yeah,
I think you could complain. Like me, I complain because the way I grew up was bullshit, dude. I hate it. I will never let my kids go through the shit that I had to go through, and it's stupid and it's the worst, right?
Yeah. Even now, we're talking about our experiences. Our experiences aren't even that bad, really. I mean, like, I still had a roof over my head.
Exactly.
I still had these. Was it shitty?
So you can complain, but you don't.
Yeah.
You don't have that be the reason why you're not doing things. You complain. You share your story, and you are upset about this, and then you realize afterwards you're like, what can I do to make it better?
Right.
Are you the problem maker or are you a problem solver? You know what I mean? So are you going to try and go through this and make it better for yourself and realize like, hey, like, I had it bad. I understand that others don't have it as good.
Yeah.
And
how do I
get myself into a better position and so on. So
and how do I give my kids the head start that I didn't have?
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to do. That'd be nice.
You're getting there.
Hopefully.
You got some stuff going here.
Yeah, I'm trying. I got a nice little desk right here. I'm just going to make sure and double check that this is all recording still. Should be. Just click on this. Or down here. Still recording. Cool. I just had to make sure because sometimes like it will just not want to do it.
Nice.
But what was I gonna say? I forgot.
Kind of covered everything that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah. So when's the next trip, man? Whenever this whole bullshit's over, or what?
Yeah, yeah. I'm supposed to be in Arizona right now, but
are they closing?
Their COVID cases are going up right now, so we decided to not
assume so because they didn't really close.
They kind of just went free with it. So we decided
is it severe cases, you think, or is it just kind of like we just have it, like the cold? Because sometimes it's different for people.
From my knowledge, which is limited to what I do in the field and what I've read, is that just depends on the age.
Right.
How old are you when you have it? The elderly population is definitely more susceptible to the extreme effects of it. People at a certain age group, younger age group, get it and they overcome.
So how do firefighters go in? Because I'm pretty sure you go in people's houses and you go to stuff. Do you guys wear masks and stuff on your way in?
Almost every single call.
Have you guys been to a call that has COVID people? COVID cases?
Yeah. No, I'm sitting next to you.
Oh no!
No, I have. Yeah. So basically, the way we've taken pretty extreme measures to sanitize,
which I would
the back of the rigs. We have this big machine, hydrogen peroxide machine, that like spends an hour basically cleaning everything inside there. Really? Just like a mist of hydrogen peroxide. So and then we do
spray stuff that just kind of goes.
Yeah, around. But it's a machine that does it by itself. We put it in there, close the doors, and it does it. Outside of that, we wear masks on every single call, gloves, eye protection, and then if it's a confirm, if we like are absolutely positive, we'll throw a gown on too. Basically, just like a gown that goes over the front of our clothing. And then we send a scout in. So we don't expose our entire crew to it all at one time.
Yeah.
We send a scout, which is usually the younger guy, the least senior. And he goes in with a little kit, a radio, and he goes in there, takes the temperature, looks for all the signs of COVID. And if it's clear, he'll say, clear, come on in. We all go in and we do our regular assessment. If it's not, and it's a COVID case, then we'll stay outside.
So how does he test that? Does he just like swab stuff and put it in a machine?
No, we don't have like an actual confirm. We can only look for signs, symptoms. So, coughing, flu-like symptoms, high temperature, difficulty breathing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That will err on the side of caution and say this is most likely a COVID patient. So.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
it's not cool, but it's cool to
we mean we're seeing multiple people a day. We're interacting with people. We go to kids' parties.
Oh yeah.
When they request it, and we're shaking hands with them. And I mean, granted, we stopped doing that stuff for the most part when COVID started.
Right.
Now we just kind of like drive by and we wave at them and we take off.
That's cool. You guys toot your horn.
Yeah. Yep. Start the sirens. They love the big trucks. We stopped doing tours and stuff like that.
How many kids back when we were young wanted to be firefighters just because it's just a fun
it's a big
there's no really
truck.
conspiracy with firefighters.
It's hard to hate them.
It's kind of hard. Like I've tried to think there's
people out there that don't like us though.
Really?
They don't like us walking on their property. This is their property,
Oh, because they think
we're the government. They look at us as like a government entity. So, which we are essentially, but we're there not 100% of the time we're there to help. So, we don't carry any weapons.
Yeah.
Our fists are, if we do have combative patients and we just subdue them, we don't hurt them, we're there to help. So diabetic patients, when they get to a certain degree of hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, they are really combative and they'll throw fists and use whatever weapons they can find. It's weird. It's a weird mental state they get in where we have to subdue them, give them sugar.
Do you know people that's been in that situation that people got physically attacked because people were just
this guy was reaching,
mentally unstable or something?
We were on a call this one time. This guy was reaching to his back pocket. We don't know why. We just held his arm. He has a gun in his back pocket. We didn't even know. Nobody's searching him.
And he just thinks these guys are out to get me. That's crazy. I never would think that.
Yeah, dude. We got some
if
pretty
a firefighter
dangerous
comes into my house, I feel like I would just be want to give him a hug.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's
that'd be
nothing.
We've had that before too. It's not funny.
They're
but
hey,
it's
buddy.
funny. I had a buddy that we got
squeeze.
We got him out of this car and he was perfectly fine. He just goes up and starts hugging my buddy because he's grateful.
He got in a car accident.
Yeah, we got him out, and my buddy was standing there. He's like, okay, it's not something we expect.
Starts bringing out his neck. He's like,
Exactly. Yeah. It's not something we expect, but we're grateful for it. So
for sure. I mean, it's better than them like going like, you fucking. Yeah. I can't think of a name, but you fucking. Yeah.
We go into some pretty dangerous situations. Usually, we work tandem with police officers.
Yeah.
Who
because you guys have the EMT experience or something?
Well, let's say like we went on a call one time for this kid that got stabbed.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was, we didn't know.
You're allowed to share these, right?
Yeah.
As long as you don't name any sort of.
I can't name it. There's HIPAA laws against it, but I can
for sure. I was going to say, I just want to make sure that if I have to cut anything, please let me know.
I can tell stories. I just can't share names,
or too much detail.
Yeah. So.
On camera. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So, totally and then we get there and it's like a party. They have like 300 kids out there, all like 16 to 20 years old. Everybody's going wild. It's Project X style. Nice. They rented an Airbnb.
Oh, God. So how they like that?
And so we get there, and the scene isn't scared. We don't know where the guy is.
Yeah.
And we have to get to this guy that's stabbed. So we all kind of get out. We get in a group, and we start keep our head on a swivel, look around. You know, kids are like recording us. Look at this. And we get down to this dark alley, not a light. No light. All we have is our flashlights, and we see this group of people coming at us, and they're holding this person by their arms and legs who's unconscious. They just throw him at us. Boom. He's got a stab wound in the side of his body. We're like,
who are the people, though?
His friends. Helping him. Carrying him outside the house.
You guys were sure they weren't the actual... who knows, right?
I don't know.
Wow.
And then standard procedures, we cut all your clothes off. We get you naked. That's just to look for any other stab wounds, because there's things that are concealed by your clothes that we can't see, you know. So
I mean, at that point, it's like for safety, so it's like it's not like weird, you know. It's not like,
but we don't have
it's pee-pee. It's like more like this guy, he might have had his dick chopped off. It's
we try to keep decency. We like throw a blanket on your private parts
for sure,
or you know, try to keep you covered to the extent that we can.
Exactly.
But yeah, we didn't have any weapons. We're like, I had a flashlight that was kind of heavy that I was like, if things go down.
It's like those old cop ones, like those thick ones.
Go like the mag lights.
Yeah.
I'm like, if things go down, maybe. But just 300 people here. There's nothing we could do if they don't like us.
I don't think I want to fight like a 230-pound guy.
Most people, I like that, the intimidation factors. I'm like, just don't even go there.
Maybe I should get a little bit bigger, like a Ronnie Coleman.
Sometimes I do some like vocabulary, like Kwando type. Like, listen, you could fight me. I'm going to do everything that I can to fight back, and I will be in the right. You won't.
Yeah.
You know? And they're like, you're right. Okay. And they don't fight me. But
you're like, you should like, listen, do you want your nose broken or do you want your knee broken?
I'm going to do everything that I can to win this fight, and I'm going to be okay, and you're not when it comes down to it.
Did you used to wrestle at all?
No. I don't.
Do you do any like sort of MMA? No, I meant like nothing, just football, and then you...
I did high school wrestling.
Whatever
that's worth.
That's pretty much what I meant.
I can double leg somebody, single leg somebody, but...
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's, we get some pretty dangerous, we expose ourselves to some pretty dangerous stuff, COVID and physical harm and being in roadways.
Have you personally been in any sort of like dangerous situation that was like life-threatening or close to
in a fire? Yeah. And pretty much anything like
really? You've been fires?
Oh yeah. Believe it or not,
not
a
the
lot
controlled
of people,
ones, like legit.
No,
like
legit
someone called,
house fires. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, 6 years you probably run into that eventually.
Yeah. Yep. That's what we train for.
Yeah.
Being on roadways is actually
your job title.
Yeah, we're firefighters. Being on roadways is actually our most dangerous.
I'm sorry, I just had to do it.
Being on road is actually the most dangerous, probably the most dangerous things.
The road?
The road. So when we have a car crash on the side of a freeway, people aren't paying attention. We get hit all the time. We actually position our apparatus. I don't know if you ever noticed. We'll put the apparatus sideways and take up lanes. And people like flip me off before, like, oh, fuck you, you're fucking slowing down traffic. And I'm like, there's somebody dying here.
Yeah.
But we'll actually take the engine, we'll block the lane so that to protect ourselves upstream.
So because people don't like probably 20 or 50 feet ahead of that. Yep. So that way, I mean, a fire truck weighs how much, right? So compared
24 tons.
You got a semi has to not be paying attention. But yeah, it's always crazy when there's an accident. I mean, I'm definitely the guy to look, but I'm also the guy to kind of like peek.
Yeah.
But I'm also going the same. Yeah. But at the same time, I don't. I mean, if I'm not driving, I'll peek. Yeah. Right. If I'm driving, as I'm passing, I see it. But once it hits my peripheral, I'm not looking over. Right. And if I do, it's because a car in front of me is going 10 miles an hour.
And we're taught not to turn our back to traffic. Like we will face traffic and we will walk backwards.
It's almost like
lake cones or
it's almost like when people walk on the sidewalk, you should always walk against traffic. Yeah.
Yeah. So
because you gotta make sure you see what's coming.
There's just too many firefighters that die who get hit by cars because people aren't paying attention, or looky-loos, they're not paying attention.
It always scares when people change their tire and they're on the edge of the white line. I'm just like,
scary.
And they're underneath their car and their knees are on that white line. I'm like, bro, do you not understand the fact that you can
I get anxiety when I see that. I'm like, oh, man. That's a call waiting to happen.
Are pulling up, sir, don't be an idiot. Get away.
Yeah. We can't even say stuff like that.
For sure. I mean, obviously not. But
it's a customer service based profession. So
like, I don't want to get on the phone. Actually, I've been on the phone with someone before, but anyways, you don't want to be on the phone with someone and then they're like, hey, you're an idiot, move. That'd be horrible.
Yeah. No, we try to be like any other business, even further than that. We give a customer service and we try to be as polite and respectful and provide the best service that we can as possible.
I feel like firefighters are always, that's like one of the things that they're best at too.
Yeah.
Is that
integrity. They talk about integrity, doing the right thing when nobody's looking.
I don't think there's like a angry firefighter.
There is out there.
Very little.
But they just don't, you don't see
them. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, it's
there
not
is
like,
though. There's some bitter guys out there.
Yeah, there's more angry cops and
who are ready to retire.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, get out of here.
Go take a nap, Bill.
Yeah, you're ready.
You're
ready. But
it's crazy.
Yeah, so
that's crazy, man.
It is crazy,
but I don't know, man. Is that it? Is there anything else that you kind of want to like share?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anybody's even interested in stuff that I talk about. I mean, at least the firefighting thing, they get a little perspective on it. Most people,
interesting.
Most people look at us and they say, firefighters, they don't know that we do medicine, but we do. That's the majority of what we do is medicine. So,
I mean, you got to know on that. I mean, if you're especially one of the first ones to the call.
We are the first ones.
Exactly.
We're who you call for help. So
yeah.
Strokes, anything. Call 911.
I saw a meme. I think I saw the meme. Maybe it was a dream. I forget. But I think it said something like, who are you going to call? And it was like Ghostbusters instead of police.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bill Murray? Can you...
stigma against that right now.
Yeah,
I feel bad for them because they're...
Me too.
They're under... I mean, there are bad police officers out there. They're under a big microscope right now. Yeah. So anything that you do, even with good intent... is being scrutinized. Yeah. You know, I work with police officers every other day, you know, and so I know there's some good guys out there and that have good intentions that just are there to do the job for how they, how do I phrase this? They're doing it, you know, for the good of the people. So
exactly. And
but there are, you know, the ones that are getting publicized and put on media right now are the ones that are doing bad things, not the ones that are doing good things. So
that's why I think it's just important just to tackle out, you know, the issue with, you know, how do they do the process of the mental health? Because a lot of it is mental health, I think. You know, a lot of police officers that go, because there's like a phrase with police officers, at least a certain amount of them, that they're like wife beaters or you know, they'll like get home.
Like stress you bring home from work.
Yeah, the stress because of everything they go through. So they're more... it's more known for a police officer to go home and do it. Now, not all at all. I'm not saying not all, but this little speck in the sand probably, right? But there's hella police officers out there in the world, so
they carry that stuff home. I see. We see stuff.
I mean, same thing with military though. When they come back,
dead people,
the PTSD.
You know, people commit suicide. That we respond to those suicides.
Yeah.
I've seen some pretty nasty shit.
Yeah.
And you take that stuff home with you, and you try you talk about it in front of the guys, but there's almost a stigma, you know, a tough guy stigma still that's present that shouldn't be. And you take that stuff home, and you try not to compartmentalize it, but you deal with it how you can. You say, this is a part of the job. This is the part that most people don't want to do this because they see this, you know.
Exactly.
They see what happens when people get in car crashes.
I feel like a different person of you comes out when it comes to a call because you're not Anthony anymore. No, you're I'm there to do firefighter numbers, something because the mentality that it takes to get into something like that.
Almost check out.
You're not Anthony, you know, from
this person is calling you on one of the worst days of their lives, and they're expecting you to fix the problem. And there's, in my mental state, when I start at the job and when I'm teaching a rookie, there's no such thing as I don't know.
Yeah.
You can't get onto a call and say, I don't know.
Like, what do I do? And you say, I don't know?
I mean, you can say, I don't know to me, and I can help you, but you don't say, I don't know to a patient. You don't, what do I do? I don't know. No, you are the problem solver. I've gone to screw in light bulbs for old ladies. I've gone to console mothers when their sons are dead on drug overdoses. Like, there is no such thing as I don't know. You have to figure it out.
Yeah, it's a good
improvise,
idea to, like,
adapt,
breathe
and overcome. You know, it's
have them action, like grab a glass of cold water. I don't know, like how does that? I mean,
you just console them. You know, you console them. What can you do?
Keep them busy.
Their son just overdosed on drugs.
Yeah,
there's nothing you can say or do that is going to help them, but you can be there for them. You know, you could apologize, and you can send a chaplain who is specialized into helping them proceed with the next steps and consoling them a little bit better than you are. But you could be there for them, you know.
Yeah.
Just as a person, this is the worst day of their life.
Yeah.
You know, you're there. But nobody ever looks back on you.
Yeah.
Saying, I just had to tell a mother that her son's dead, or I just had to do CPR on a 27-year-old guy who hung himself, you know. Nobody ever consoles you about that stuff. And there's resources out there, you know, but they're resources. You need a person, I think, at least for me, that you're close to talk about that and decompress about it.
I was
and
going to say,
hey, that
you
affected
either need
me.
A counselor that you trust, or you need like a close friend of yours,
and there's
or
guys,
family that or your work guys.
Yeah, there's guys that I trust that I could talk to and just be like, hey, look, that really messed me up back there, and I just want to talk to you about it.
That's good though. At least the fact that you have enough like knowledge in your head, or if you have the mentality to actually looking for help instead of just bottling up. Because when you bottle stuff up, I mean, think about this. When people, I mean, it's probably not anywhere in comparison, but just for people who might be watching this who are younger, when you get mad at a game and you rage, you know, when you bottle it up, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
So when you, instead of just kind of letting it out slowly, like,
or just talking about it.
Exactly.
You know,
so when it comes
maybe
to those
just talking
situations,
about it helps,
just always mention it, like, hey, this happened and this is how I'm feeling. Okay, you know, then you talk through it, and then you start to go to lighter things. Like you talk about, you know, maybe like what's your favorite.
Oh, just
I don't know. Just you kind of change the subject a little bit.
It takes a lot of courage to come out and talk about it.
I've never been in that position. I never. I hopefully never will. You know, I've lost friends. I mean, to drug overdose recently. Just last weekend, I lost one of my first best friends.
Yeah,
named Taylor Watkins. You know, rest in peace.
Yeah,
he was in rehab.
Bad strain going on.
Got out one day because I guess supposedly he got in trouble with something in rehab, but they sent him out of rehab.
Maybe
to be by himself.
Violated the rules of rehab.
Probably.
It's interesting.
But to me, I'm just thinking, like, you just don't let someone who do that on their own, because he ended up overdosing the second night. He was gone. I was like, damn. Yeah. You know,
that's crazy.
It sucks, man. You know, it's definitely a hard world, but, you know, when you always find something to talk to, it can potentially help that situation, so it doesn't get worse. So you're not bottling it up. And
exactly.
It's
There's
crazy.
A lot of courage, and you kind of it's sad because you kind of become desensitized to a few things like that just because you encounter it so
we've all
much.
become numb to it too.
A little bit.
Think about this. I mean, not even the video games. I don't want to put that out there, but how graphic they're getting. The movies, even the media, the Facebook videos that you see,
the things that are happening today. You know.
Now it's almost like someone got hit by a car. You're not like, oh my God, they got hit by a car. Unless it's like your family or someone that you know, right? You probably get a little bit different, but it's someone random, like, oh, that sucks. And you share it, and then you're like, oh, this sucks. You know what I mean? Yeah. But really, it's almost like saying LOL. You're not laughing. You feel it in your head, but it's a different emotion now because people are so numb to that. It's almost normal.
Right. The amount of school shootings that happen.
It's horrible that it happens.
You want to be like sensitive to it, you know, and you are.
I am.
It's happening so much. You're just like,
it's just how.
By the last one, you're like, again. You're not like, oh my God, that just happened, like, again.
Yeah.
You know,
you're not like in
theater
shock.
shooting.
You're
like,
just
again?
more like, really? Are you fucking kidding me? That happened again?
Right.
Yeah. It's horrible, man.
Same thing on the job. So
I hope that never happens anymore, dude. It sucks, man. Especially kids.
Yeah.
That's the part that sucks. Like,
kids are hard.
Kids.
Yeah. Kids are really hard. They never really had a shot. So.
Ooh, well, man, dude. I don't know what else we could definitely do a part 2.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We should definitely do a part 2, and we'll have it just be more about
maybe some recommended topics. Maybe we can.
We'll give
our spiel on it.
I'm down. You know, I'll keep the office like this so we don't have to sit and set it up. Yeah. I had to reset up my whole office because I don't want to just sit on a couch. I have a couch over here.
It's more aesthetic. It's aesthetically pleasing now.
This is a little bit more better. I just need a wire management, all this stuff. Right, but thank you, Anthony, for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Really appreciate it. You know, it's been a while since I posted, you know.
Glad we can get together and put something together from.
Exactly. So, you know, and then soon we'll be going out to Cali soon, you know, hitting up that Disneyland, the Mecca, you know.
LA's open right now, so.
Yeah, so probably in like August or something.
Perfect.
Or July.
Whenever you want.
Depends on how everything goes.
Yeah. Well, Uncle's just inviting me down, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said everything's open. You just got to wear masks.
Perfect.
He's like, you should come down.
I'm fine with that. I'll make a dope ass mask and I'll just show up. I'll wear it all day. I don't care.
Right on.
But thanks, man. This is Nice Talk. Nice Chris here. Anthony, I'll put all his links in the description. You can check out his SoundCloud too for his beats. And then so if you guys are interested and you guys learned a lot, especially about being a firefighter, if you're interested in that or anything that is in that kind of field of working for the government, I don't know, whatever you want to do, you can do what you want. I don't care.
Overcoming adversity.
Yeah, overcome adversity. I was gonna say something, but I don't remember what it was. My brain is not working right now. It is hot in this room, and all the lights are on too, so it's kind of heating up. Maybe for me. Also, I gotta pee. So thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you guys again very soon.
See ya.